been absolutely frantic. This Pomona quarter mile has seen some tremendous runs, but one of the most awesome was the effort by Diamond Dave Miller in the far lane. Let's watch. A huge engine explosion, a ball of fire, the parts flying everywhere, and Dave Miller has got his hands full. The engine continues to burn as the parachute deploys, and Miller trying to bring the car to a stop. As we see from a different angle, tremendous the impact and the force of that explosion. The parts flying through the air, the fire burning out of the engine as Miller hard on the brakes, keeping the car very straight, the parachute beginning to deploy, but Miller an expensive effort on his part in qualifying. Let's go to Steve.
Steve, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Well, you scattered everybody down here. There were parts and pieces going everywhere.
Well, my lens came off and I couldn't see, so I was trying to get everything down there together, get my glasses back on and get the brake and the parachute. It was
We had to be concerned with stopping the car. This is not the longest racetrack in drag racing.
Oh yeah, once I could see again,
You get no advance warning of that kind of a disaster coming.
Not really.
All right, he's okay, and very disappointed, and also probably back financially about $8,000 in an explosion like this.
A tough break for Dave Miller, but he was not the only man to experience problems here at this Winston World Finals. His came in qualifying, but this man, Don Garlitz, had his in the first round of eliminations today. He was racing Dick LaHaye. It's Garlitz in the near lane, LaHaye in the far lane. It was a good start for both cars, some tire smoke off LaHaye's car. It appeared to be an easy run for Garlitz, but then all of a sudden, oil started coming out. Flames licked out from beneath the car. Garlitz got the car stopped. He was uninjured. The car was basically undamaged, except for those engine problems.
That motor that was hurt in round number one is in the trailer now, and it's headed for nowhere but the recycler. Your next soda pop can may have a blend of Don Garlitz's racing engine in it. Right now, Big Daddy and crew have successfully completed an engine swap, and his concern right now is not to that destroyed $7,000 block or $1,500 crankshaft. Right now, all he's thinking about is horsepower. Make all you can with this spare engine. And of course, his difficulties may cause a little shift in the momentum towards that young man who's been trying to beat his hero all year long.
Steve has been trying throughout the season, but has yet to do it. Darrell Gwynn could meet Don Garlitz, come up later in eliminations, but in the first round of competition at the Winston World Finals, it was the former NFL pro quarterback Dan Pastorini, now out of Memphis, Tennessee, in his quarterback sneak up against Darrell Gwynn from Miami, Florida. Pastorini was in the far lane, his crew chief Bobby Rowe checking things over, getting him lined up just right. Pastorini completing his first full season on the NHRA Championship Trail and doing a very creditable job qualifying here in this extremely tough field in the Winston World Finals. Pastorini with a slight advantage off the starting line, but Darrell Gwynn quickly recovered from his tire smoke and moved on to take the win with a 5.68 second elapsed time. Gwynn now advanced into round number 2, where we pick up the action with Darrell Gwynn will be in the near lane against one of the longtime veterans. This will be Gene Snow from Fort Worth, Texas. Snow, a former campaigner in Funny Car Eliminator, moved into Top Fuel a few years ago after sitting out the sport for several years, forming an oil company that was most successful. Darrell Gwynn has made it into the final round twice this season, once at the Summer Nationals, again at the U.S. Nationals, but both times he lost to Don Garlitz. Gwynn here in round number 2 at the Winston World Finals is facing another veteran. Gene Snow in Top Fuel Eliminator has been rapidly improving. He won his first national title way back in the mid-1960s. He won again this season in Top Fuel and would love to take home this Top Fuel title at the Winston World Finals. Snow getting the final instruction from his crew chief. Both cars into the staging beams, and it's Snow out in front. Another tire-smoking run for Darrell Gwynn. This time he does not recover. And the elapsed time for Gene Snow, a 5.49 second time at over 260 miles an hour. The best time ever for Gene Snow. As we look in slow motion, you see Snow pulling ahead at the start. The tire smoke from Darrell Gwynn's car indicating he is losing traction, and in this case, it lost Darrell Gwynn the race.
Well, Darrell, just when it looked like it might be your day, it all goes up in smoke.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to swallow, I'll tell you. I've never won one of these races in Top Fuel, but I figured we never qualified number one either, and we qualified number one here, and I figured, well, this is the one we're going to win. This is our last chance of the year. I can't bow my head to anybody. We've done very well this year. I got to give credit to everybody that's been a part of this car. We're going to sew up the season. We're hoping to stay in the top 5, depending on what Ormsby does. So all in all, we had a good year.
Back at the starting line, our next pair of cars just about ready to go. The Jolly Rancher Special of Frank Bradley from Napa, California. He has won several national events, including one right here on this racetrack. For Bill Mullins, he's also won in Top Fuel Eliminator and in Alcohol Dragster at the wheel of Carey's Diesel. Mullins has got to be coming into this round riding a natural high as a result of his efforts in round number 1. Earlier, he defeated Joe Amato, the big winner in the Cragar-Weld Wheel Classic. Amato was in the near lane, Mullins in the far lane. Amato had a slight hole shot, an advantage off the starting line, but look at the thundering Carey's Diesel pull ahead at the finish and take the win over Joe Amato. Now it's Frank Bradley staging first. Then comes Bill Mullins. And Mullins' luck runs out this round. He was late off the starting line. Bradley puts together a beautiful 5.63 second elapsed time at 249 miles an hour. And the Jolly Rancher Candy Special advances into the semifinals. Here is Don Garlitz in the near lane in the Super Shops In-N-Out Hamburger Special against Gary Ormsby, a Toyota dealer from Roseville, California. Ormsby using some semi-aerodynamic devices on his car. You can see the little spoilers right in front of the rear tires trying to break up the air as they hit those big flat slicks as it goes down the racetrack at over 260 miles an hour. Number 4 in the world last season was Gary Ormsby. Don Garlitz, number 1 this season, and will carry that big number 1 all next year. Staging ever so carefully come both cars. The Christmas tree goes green, and Ormsby with a hole shot. Garlitz has got problems. His car slows, and it is Ormsby across the finish line first. And one of the big upsets of this meet, 5.49 seconds, 259 miles an hour. Once again, an instant replay. We watch Gary Ormsby. Garlitz actually left the starting line first, but Ormsby's car responded so well, he pulled ahead in the middle of the racetrack and did not lose that lead to the finish line.
Well, your crew did a fabulous job of getting the engine replaced along with yourself, and seldom really can you come back from those engine explosions. It seems to get you behind and you never catch up again.
It's a tough deal sometimes. You know, you want to set it richer and where to be safe, but you just can't. We had the fastest guy in the round.
Have you ever enjoyed a season any more than you did this one?
No, this has really been a good one, Steve. Really been great.
Don Garlitz looking back on a season that has carried him to the top of the record book, 6 wins in one season, an all-time record for that man. Gary Beck against Connie Coletta. Coletta from Ypsilanti, Michigan. He won his first race back in 1967 on this racetrack at the Winter Nationals. Gary Beck has won many NHRA national event crowns, including the U.S. Nationals twice. He has been a world champion, and he won this World Finals event back in 1981. The number 1 driver on the Miller American team, Gary Beck. His car owner is Larry Miner. Owning and operating his own racing operation as he does his flying service is Connie Coletta. The 2 drivers encased inside the protective roll cage to protect them in case of upset. Strapped in with all the fire protective gear required by NHRA. They come towards the starting line to light the 2 light bulbs at the top of the Christmas tree, indicating to the starter that they're ready. He throws the switch. It's a green light and tire smoke for Connie Coletta. Beck down to the finish line on an easy single run. Does not take it easy. 5.73 seconds at 244 miles an hour. He is off the pace of his competitors just a bit, as this now sets up our semifinals, where Gary Beck will be racing against Gene Snow. As we look again in instant replay, it's instant tire smoke for Connie Coletta, losing him the race right off the starting line. Let's go to Steve.
So Gary Beck is the next to advance to the semifinals in Top Fuel, a 573 put away Coletta. Gary?
Yeah, it's dropping cylinders a little bit. We need a little more poop, I think.
Shut it off early, or was that all it had run?
No, that was it. It was, I felt it dropping a little bit in low gear. What happened to him?
He smoked the tires and just threw in the towel.
That's good. I needed that one.
While Gary Beck heads back to the pits trying to find his elusive horsepower, there's lots of work going on in Gary Ormsby's pit area. He is racing against Frank Bradley in the semifinals. And Ormsby, the big upset winner over Don Garlits. And while Garlits may be out of competition, he is certainly not out of the fans' mind or their thoughts. As he heads down the return road, a tip of the hat, a big wave by Garlits to this huge crowd, the crowd that he gives the credit for all of his motivation for his success in 1985. Here come the funny cars. Kenny Bernstein has been practically unstoppable throughout the 1985 season. He gives a lot of credit to his crew chief and to the technological advances in the sport of funny car racing. One of those is the use of a wind tunnel to develop the aerodynamics on the fiberglass body. Another is a secret that nobody's telling what it is. It's hidden underneath this towel. There's a lot of speculation, but nobody knows. The terrible towel covers the secret of Kenny Bernstein. Whatever it is, it works. Kenny Bernstein is the Winston World Champion for 1985. This man has won that title 4 consecutive years. Don Prudhomme in the Pepsi Wendy's Special is racing in round number 2 against John Force. 1985 has been a season of peaks and valleys for Don Prudhomme. On one weekend, he will absolutely annihilate the competition. On others, he couldn't buy a win. But the Granada Hills, California racer is one to be watched regardless of what race it is. In round number 1 at the World Finals, Don Prudhomme was racing against Trip Shoemake in the In-N-Out Burger Special. And Don Prudhomme gave every indication that he has regained the performance level that he enjoyed for so many years as he established a new national record of over 264 miles an hour in defeating Trip Shoemake. That earned him the right to race John Force from Yorba Linda, California. Force, driving the Coca-Cola Wendy's Jolly Rancher Corvette, raced against the Pontiac Trans Am, the old Milwaukee Special of Candies and Hues, with the reigning world champion Mark Oswald at the wheel. A brilliant driving job by Oswald, but just a bit more horsepower for John Force, and Force defeated the reigning world champion to come into round number 2 to race Don Prudhomme. Force in the far lane, Prudhomme in the near lane, the final check of that record-holding Pontiac by the crew is crew chief Bob Brandt. Austin Coyle, the crew chief for John Force, 2 of the more brilliant men in nitro-burning racing today. These sleek cars, capable, as we saw, of speeds over 264 miles an hour, will cover this quarter mile in less than 5.7 seconds or better. John Force has yet to win an NHRA national event title. Don Prudhomme, the winningest nitro-burning driver of all, and Force up in smoke, and Prudhomme, another great run, 263 miles an hour at 5.70 seconds. What a way to end the season. This is the final race of the year, and Prudhomme going with great style at 263 miles an hour against a tire-smoking John Force. When you lose that much traction, you lose the race.
Well, to set a national record at this stage of the season won't even get you a cup of coffee. But to men like Don Prudhomme, to establish yourself as the world's fastest funny car driver, you backed it up. Your 264-mile-an-hour record will go into the book.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a long time coming. We did a little aerodynamic with this Pontiac, a little work during the season, and it's a lot slicker, and it's counted for the speed, I'd say.
And a very solid 5.70 elapsed time.
Well, thanks. I didn't even know. Yeah, that's good. You know, we just want to just keep the consistency up. That's the main thing.
You were the first to break 250. That meant a lot to you. Does this record mean as much?
Well, it all means a lot to me, you know, especially
at this point in your career. You know, when you've done so much, come back and run real good is really a gratifying feeling.
There's 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Steve, Don Prudhomme certainly appears to be enjoying at least this moment of the 1985 season. Back on the racetrack, our next pair of funny cars. Their escape hatch is open to let the smoke out and the fresh air in. In the near lane, it is Al Segrini. Segrini from Easton, Massachusetts, driving for car owner Joe Pisano, the developer of the JP1 racing engine. In the Coors Corvette, one of the longtime veterans, this is Tom McEwen. He dates back just about as long as does Don Prudhomme and Don Garlits and Gene Snow in this sport.